Our faculty and staff believe in work, hard work, and they truly exhibit a spirit that is not afraid.
War Eagle.
Go crazy, Cadillac! Go crazy!
I mean, who don't want to come to Auburn?
Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back! Auburn wins!
We're about excellence and innovation.
This is Auburn being Auburn.
I believe in Auburn.
War Eagle.
And love it.
Listen, we're a football school, but we're also an everything school.
War Eagle Auburn fans, and welcome back to the Everything Auburn podcast, which we record right here from the Heyday Market on the Plains. I'm your host, Auburn Communications Director Preston Sparks. With this segment, we're going to dive into the world of cyber and how Auburn is a leader in this space. We have Jay James, CyberSecurity Operations Center Lead, with us to talk through his role at Auburn and to provide us some helpful information when it comes to all things cyber. Really appreciate you being here today, Jay.
Glad to be here.
Let's get things started off by having you talk a bit about your role here at Auburn.
Absolutely. So here at Auburn, I'm the Cybersecurity Operations Lead, where I've had the opportunity to protect the campus against national and international threats. So with this opportunity, I had the opportunity to protect us from everything to insider threats to nation-state actors. This role focuses more on leading the detection and response components. So I do everything from monitoring activity on a daily basis to responding to those incidents as they come up. No 2 days are the same, and I love every moment of it.
So October, right, is CyberSecurity Awareness Month. Can you offer our listeners perhaps a key list of top tips in keeping their information, their identity safe in cyberspace?
So there are 3 tips that I always recommend. 1, always use multi-factor authentication. So with your bank, with your social media, with any type of thing you have an account for, use multi-factor because that always is that first mechanism to protect you if they do have your password. Secondly, use a password manager. So we have tons of accounts where we have to have a lot of different passwords. And there are types of managers that will help you put in all of those passwords and be able to change them easily, keep up with what password is where. And it's a mechanism that it easily inputs your password when you log into different websites. So you can find whatever works best for you. Just go to Google and type word password managers and insert them there. And lastly, I would say be aware of your digital footprint. So how many accounts do you have online? What are you posting online, such as your family pictures when you go on vacation? And do you have websites that have information like your address, your email, your phone number? If it doesn't have to be there, I would recommend just taking that offline. And a bonus tip, when your phone or your computer says update your software, update your software. I know it's easy to let it sit there and lag behind, but many times that comes with security updates for you that'll help keep you protected.
That's very helpful information, Jay. Appreciate that. The digital world, definitely offers some great opportunities, but also presents quite a few dangers, right? With that in mind, what suggestions would you offer to businesses or organizations in terms of a sound defense involving cyber threats?
Well, stay on top of cybersecurity trends. So how is cybersecurity impacting your industry, whether it's in healthcare or in banking? Attackers have different goals depending on their industry, so that'll help you better understand what attacks are coming your way. I will also recommend for everyone to understand their role in the cybersecurity space. If you are an everyday staff member of your organization, how do you stay vigilant to understand when phishing attacks are coming in, and how do you report those? As a business leader, you should build that culture of cybersecurity awareness. So do all of your team members know that it's important for you to be careful with what you click on and be aware what's going on in your environment, because that can be the difference between a major incident or just a phishing attack that just passes by.
Once again, some great information there. Now with a focus on Auburn, let's talk about your work in implementing Auburn's first Security Operations Center.
So I love talking about this. When I came to Auburn, I really was trying to figure out what I wanted to do and leaning into the cyberspace. I never knew that I would have the opportunity to build out the Cybersecurity Center here at Auburn. When I came in as a cybersecurity analyst, I thought I was going to be around where I slowly but surely build my career, learn different skills, but I was quickly thrown into the fire with the opportunity to build this team out. It came about because of the rising threat in the cybersecurity world in higher education and the need for us to protect our research and all of our day-to-day activities here at the university. building out this program, I had the opportunity to think about what technologies we needed, the people that we needed to get involved, and all of the processes to tie everything together. We currently have a team of 2 full-time workers as well as a ton of student workers that I rely on every day, and I could not do this without them. We spend every day looking at emerging threats. We spend every day thinking about what's coming next, whether it's those attacks that's happening in our environment or protecting those that might be anywhere international.
And when it comes to Auburn's efforts in this space, can you detail some of the ways in which Auburn is a leader? We, of course, have our world-renowned McCrary Institute for Cyber and Critical Infrastructure Security, and, of course, lots of great research in this area, right? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, and that's one of many reasons why I love Auburn is that their dedication to the cyberspace. The McCrary Institute does a lot of great research, especially for critical infrastructure and how do we protect our nation against cyber threats. Our cybersecurity department does a lot of great work into protecting everything that makes Auburn Auburn, whether it's our research, our faculty, our staff, how we function at an international presence through technology. And we also have a cybersecurity team on campus that focuses specifically on protecting all research. So they have been around for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and they've been doing a lot of great work in that space. And lastly, we educate in cybersecurity. So the Harvard College of Business, as well as the College of Engineering, spends a lot of time in the education space in terms of undergraduate and graduate programs to help those get into the cybersecurity field.
So now let's turn our attention to some of the typical cyber tricks that hackers try to employ. I know we often hear about, in the news, everything from phishing to malware to ransomware attempts. Mm-hmm.
So you're going to hear me talk about phishing a lot because it's one of the most prevalent attacks out there, and it's one of the most successful attacks out there. An interesting fact that I found out a few years ago, around 2021, is that 70% of cyber attacks start from a human element, and usually that comes from social engineering, phishing being one of those biggest attacks. So attackers understand it's harder to get through strong technology, right, that keeps you from getting into systems. So they try to come in through the human, and that's done through phishing. We have these terms called vishing and smishing. So phishing through text messages and phishing through phone calls. And they leverage those to try to get through your systems. And phishing is a way that they get in, right? And the other half of that is once they get in, what are they trying to do? So they can do anything from getting more information out of the end user. They can be trying to steal data from your organization, or they want to employ something such as a ransomware attack to hold your organization for ransom. So that's why we put a lot of emphasis on phishing, because that's their way in the door. And then after they get in the door, they lean in on those other attacks to meet their end objective.
Now, I'm always baffled at how many rogue actors there are out there. Can you delve further into why this has become such a problem in the cyber world, and how this issue has become so prevalent?
Well, that's a great question because cyber attacks have been around since the 80s. And really, I think it's a byproduct of how we've become so integrated with technology. So as the technology has grown and technology has expanded, so did cyber actors and cyber crime because of that growth. Also, cybercrime is very lucrative. I know that ransomware attacks, on average, cost organizations $4.5 million.
Wow.
So these are very lucrative opportunities for those to take that type of action. And because of how fast technology moves, it's very, very hard to keep up with these attackers and the methods that they use to get into our systems.
So now let's talk about your journey here to Auburn and into the field of cybersecurity. I know you received your graduate certificate in cybersecurity management from Auburn's Harvard College of Business, right?
Right.
Can you detail that for us a bit? Maybe talk about your love for Auburn, maybe how you decided to dedicate your career to that area of cyber.
Well, I have loved Auburn ever since I was a kid. I have an Auburn family where we were big Auburn fans, and I was very grateful to be a first-generation Auburn student, and I hit the ground running. So I always knew I was going to go to Auburn, but I didn't always know exactly what I wanted to do. Came into the College of Business and Information Systems Management, and I will never forget my first cybersecurity class with Dr. Silgelski, which really solidified this is what I wanted to do. This is a way I can protect people and protect my community through technology, and I was all in ever since. Once I graduated from Auburn, I actually started at VCOM, the medical school, when their first year that they opened, and I had the opportunity to help them build out their technology program. And then I saw the opportunity to be a cybersecurity analyst at Auburn University, which I thought was the best thing that could happen. So came back here, and the rest is history for that. And I love being able to still build out my Auburn story even after graduating. One big moment for me right now is that I had the opportunity to be the chair of the Young Alumni Council. So wearing that hat and get to work with young alum while working at Auburn is an experience that I will never forget.
And I know some congratulations are in order, I'm told, for your recent recognition by the world's leading nonprofit member organization of cyber professionals, ISC2. You were the recipient of that organization's 2023 Global Achievement Award for your commitment to higher education, diversity, advocacy, and nurturing industry newcomers. So talk a bit, if you will, about your drive to mentor those entering the cybersecurity profession and maybe any advice you might give them.
First and foremost, I see the talent here at Auburn University, and as well as the talent around the surrounding Auburn community. I'm a firm believer that resources and opportunity are the key to success, and I figure that through mentorship, I can help bridge those gaps. Many times where I was going through my career, I just didn't know what was the next best step, or what should I do, or what should I study. And being able to bridge that gap and help those a little earlier in their career create that path, I feel like I am making a strong impact to their futures. So that's why I really enjoy being a mentor, even at this stage in my career. And one piece of advice that I can give to those that are already in the industry is that you should just keep going, keep learning, because this doesn't stop, right? And in order for you to build that career, you have to be vigilant about learning, because technology changes so quickly.
So in closing, what would you say to potential students out there who are thinking about a career in cyber and might be considering Auburn?
Well, come to Auburn University. It's the place to be if you want to get in cyber, whether it's through the business side in the Harbor College of Business or through the engineering side through one of their undergraduate or graduate programs. I think that this is a great place to foster your learning, because there's opportunity even outside of those programs for you to get deeper into the cybersecurity space, such as our student worker program in cybersecurity or a co-op program in cybersecurity. Also, I would recommend you to find as many mentors as possible, not just one, because the cybersecurity industry is enormous, and it's important for you to look at various perspectives in order for you to figure out your path and which direction you want to go in the cyberspace.
Well, thanks so much again, Jay, for joining the podcast and enlightening us on all things cyber. We hope everyone listening learned a few new things and grew their knowledge of everything Auburn. Make sure to check back on our show for future episodes as we continue to look at everything that makes Auburn so special. War Eagle.
War Eagle.